At just 13 years old, Bobby Fischer shocked the chess world with a game that would become legendary forever. Facing Master Donald Byrne in New York, 1956, the young Fischer unleashed one of the greatest combinations ever seen on a chessboard, including a stunning queen sacrifice that left the entire chess world speechless. This masterpiece would later be called the game of the century. Get ready to witness the rise of a chess genius. Fischer versus Byrne, 1956.
Starting with the knight is a versatile first move that leads to many strong openings. Black develops the knight toward the center, just like white did. This advance controls an important center square. Black will open up the diagonal and the bishop will look toward development on a very active square. Knight c3 develops the knight toward the center and controls the d5 and e4 squares. Bishop g7 puts the bishop on the long diagonal in a move called a fianchetto. Black will advance in the center, gaining influence while limiting the scope of the pieces. Black will castle kingside, preferring the safety of the corner to the more open center. It is always nice to be solid. Black will develop the bishop and the influence in the center will increase. White will push the d-pawn to challenge the center and claim space. It is a very direct way to fight for the initiative. This defends the attacked pawn. White will enter the exchange and the material will remain balanced after this trade. Black will simply recapture. Black will shift the pawn to a safer square and keep everything level. It is a very solid way to maintain the balance. Black will respond by solidifying the center, gaining influence while keeping the position quite tight and stable. The better move was to pin a defender of a pawn. White will bring the rook into the game, keeping things solid and steady. The best option was to send a queen into the game. The better move was to move a queen to safety. Black will activate the piece now. This will offer more flexibility across the board and help prepare for the coming middle game struggle. Black will lose a pawn as the position collapses after this sequence. Sacrificing the knight was the right idea. White will relocate the queen to safety and maintain a very solid position. That will win a pawn by removing the key defender. Black will simply recapture. That was a free pawn. Black will create a strong formation and suddenly this position will look quite dangerous with many threats. White will find a nice, quiet retreat for the queen. This will avoid any tactical trouble and keep the position under control. Black will prepare to tuck the king safely on the king side. The knight was sacrificed, a stunning move. Black will push forward to attack the rook, gaining a crucial tempo once it retreats. This forces the opponent to lose castling rights. Black will move the king to safety. This will escape the check from the rook and keep the game going. White will leave the queen hanging to generate a counterattack, ignoring the threat entirely. Black will lose a rook as the position collapses after the sequence. Black will create a very serious problem by increasing the heat on the pawn. Black will move the king to safety. This will escape the check from the bishop and keep the game going. There will be just one winning path here and white will seize it. Black will have to give up the exchange to avoid an immediate mate. White will find a nice, quiet retreat for the knight. This will avoid any tactical trouble and keep the position under control. White will have only the single square to go to, simply trying to grovel and stay in the game. White will step out of the way and black will reveal a check. White will step the king away from the checking bishop. This will evade the check and keep the position stable. Black will shift the knight to a safer square and keep everything level. It is a very solid way to maintain the balance. White will have only the single square to go to, simply trying to grovel and stay in the game. Black will deliver a discovered check, and then white will have to lose material. Black will move the king to safety. This will escape the check from the bishop and keep the game going. Black will place the queen under sudden pressure with this maneuver. White will then find no way to save the material. A strong fork hits two targets at the same time. This defends the attacked bishop. Very strong indeed. It's a solid choice. That rook was free for the taking. White will play h3 to create an escape square for the king to avoid any back rank trouble later on. White will capture on d5 and then black will take back, resulting in an equal trade. Black will place the knight under sudden pressure with this maneuver. White will then find no way to save the material. That was a free pawn. Black will shift the rook to a safer square and keep everything level. It is a very solid way to maintain the balance. A very solid choice, right on target. Right on target, a very strong option. This blocks the check from an opposing queen. White will recapture the material, maintaining a very solid position. By landing on this square, the bishop will secure a very nice outpost where no pawn will ever bother it. White's knight has moved to a square with greater activity and control. That's right on the money. Very strong option. The piece finds a new active square. White will find a nice, quiet retreat for the pawn. This will avoid any tactical trouble and keep the position under control. Very strong, one of the best moves. That's a super strong option. Yes, very strong play, a solid choice. Black will march the king up the board, leaving the back rank behind to support the passed pawns. Very strong indeed, it's a solid choice. White will have to concede a piece as black will execute a devastating pin. This allows the opponent to force eventual checkmate. White will play for the checkmate and black will have no way to wiggle out of it. White will have only the single square to go to, simply trying to grovel and stay in the game. Black will continue the relentless checkmate threat. White will have only the single square to go to, simply trying to grovel and stay in the game. Black will maintain the mating threat with this move. White will have only the single square to go to, simply trying to grovel and stay in the game. White will push forward and it will be a very nice, clean finish as black runs out of squares. White will have only the single square to go to, simply trying to grovel and stay in the game. Black will maintain the mating threat with this move. White will have only the single square to go to, simply trying to grovel and stay in the game. Black will have no way to stop the promotion and the game will end.